Hello. So this video is intended to be a kind of attunement of your energy. And when I say attunement, what I mean is that through little to almost no effort on your part, simply by hearing these words and receiving in the most passive way possible, your energy, your being, will become aligned with a higher frequency. Maybe we'll say a faster frequency. One that is connected to the unified consciousness, to the love vibration, to expanded awareness. What I'm going to be speaking about will, in the most gentle way possible, because that is how I intend it for you, assist you in beginning to transcend some of your generational patterning, that you've had maybe a difficult time releasing or overcoming. But what I really want to emphasize is that if this is something that you would enjoy and agree to, all you have to do is set the intention to receive and listen to my voice from an almost meditative place. But even if you are watching this video as informational and assisting in your learning, then you will still receive the attunement. It might just take a little bit longer for you to feel it as you drop out of your mental body and into the rest of your being. And so I'm going to invite you all to take a deep breath with me in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, letting your shoulders relax, softening your jaw, and closing your eyes if that is comfortable to you. If that is not, engage the screen, engage me with a soft gaze. For the sake of transparency, I work with only the most appropriate, high vibrational, pure thought forms, light beings, and consciousnesses who serve unconditional love. who are willing and able to assist us in aligning to our greatest and highest good and our divinity. So, continue to maintain a relaxed state of being while I speak to you. Maybe allow yourself to have an open mind. And if something seems to go over your head or you don't quite understand it at this moment, rest assured that on a cellular level, you are experiencing fully this knowledge and this attunement. I have always been very into the symbolic nature of reality. And when we dream, we are aware that sometimes our consciousness can communicate to us using symbols. And so a rose might not be a rose. It might mean something else. Some kind of animal may appear to you, and when you wake up, you just know, or possibly you look up what the meaning is, and it's something completely different than what that animal is literally, right? Yes. And so what I am fascinated by is the symbolic nature of our waking reality. And even some Aboriginal indigenous cultures refer to what we perceive as our waking reality as the great dreaming, and that we're all kind of dreaming together. And so in this way, our waking reality is extremely symbolic. Some of you may be very familiar with numbers and their meaning and the vibrations associated with the literal number. Some of you may even have the awareness to perceive certain omens. Some kind of sign that just points to something more. Some hidden wisdom. Some message being conveyed to you from your reality. And so what I would like to do is speak specifically on some symbols that have really transformed my own way of looking at myself, my own being, and the world around me. I'm talking about the polarities, the masculine, the feminine. And in this video, we will also speak on the inner child. Eastern cultures, especially, have always acknowledged the two polarities, with the most obvious being the yin and the yang, the feminine, dark, earthly force, and the masculine, light, heavenly force. And so when you look at your own internal world and when you look at your own personality, knowing that these forces exist and coexist, you can begin to understand the various parts of yourself, how they are balanced or unbalanced. Or perhaps a better way to put that is in harmony. And so whether or not we regard ourselves as a masculine embodiment, meaning we identify with the masculine way of being, perhaps our bodies reflect the masculine, perhaps they don't. And the same goes for the feminine. Or perhaps you do feel a sense of neutrality. When identifying however, the forces still do exist within you, both the masculine and the feminine, regardless of your perception of yourself. You see, the forces within you have their own functions. In a way, they are like your pre-programmed software. The masculine is the force that does. Associated with your head. Your masculine integrates. It is associated with the mental aspect of you. And when looking at your own masculine, and its health within you, you may ask yourself, how do I feel about taking action? Now the feminine is the masculine's equal and opposite force. The feminine receives. And where the masculine is the head, the feminine is the body. And indeed, the feminine is responsible for embodying. She is associated with physicality. And when you are considering your feminine's health, diving deeper into it, you can ask yourself, how do I feel about resting or receiving anything? Love, attention, money, opportunities, receiving anything at all. How do I feel about doing that? And then we have the inner child. The inner child expresses. It is your heart. It enacts energetically, perhaps emanates is a more appropriate word. It is connected to your emotions. When looking to understand how your inner child is functioning, you may ask, how do I feel about expressing myself freely? I know that you might expect the masculine to be the enactor. But in any internal trinity, whether it's healed or unhealed, your child is actually in the driver's seat quite a bit. It's the part of you that is dancing with energetic creation, manifesting. And is honestly the most fun. You see, your masculine and feminine are tied to the ancient mother-father archetypes. And your child is too. But there's always this childlike energy that involves a freshness and that keeps it youthful and present. It's important not to look at all of this linearly, though. Like you have the mother and the father, the masculine and the feminine, and then you have the child who is their creation. The union of the masculine and the feminine results in the child who represents androgyny, unity consciousness, or God, source. And so in turn, God, source, the inner child, gives birth to the polarities, the masculine and the feminine, via the desire to express itself. You see, source and the inner child, their pure expression. We are here as physical embodiments in an energetic construct because Source wished to know itself through expression. And so all your inner child knows is expression. However, the masculine and the feminine will not allow this expression to occur if they don't feel safe or have judgments regarding the way the child wants to express. And those judgments have been programmed into them via their upbringing and culture, society. This is where facilitating inner union for yourself, inner sacred union for yourself, comes into play. Viewing your internal world through this lens of the Trinity can assist in clearly seeing trauma patterning that is holding a person back from receiving and giving true love, and creating a safe space for themselves to enact their divine purpose. Take a nice, big, deep breath in. The trauma patterning that has crippled global society's advancement since ancient times and has traveled through generations and bloodlines to present, to you, can be undone through this internal sacred union work. When you heal your masculine, you heal your father and their father and their father's father, all the way back. When you heal your mother, your feminine, you heal your mother and your mother's mother. And their mother's mother. You get to free all of them too. Not to mention, free the expression of generations of children to come. If there was ever a time for this work to be done, it would undoubtedly be now. The collective has gone through so much. Go ahead and take in another deep breath. it is important to note the things that you may have felt, saw, or experienced as you listen to this attunement meditation. As I spoke about earlier, we are constantly being shown symbols, signs for where we are on our path, what is required from us to align to our greatest and highest good. This meditation and the information therein was crafted with the assistance of the Akashic Records. Acknowledge all of those symbols that you've seen, heard, or felt during this meditation, perhaps in a journal, writing down your experience, and of course coming back and re-listening if you feel that it would be of assistance to you. Fill up your lungs fully, deeply, and lovingly. Thank your being for going on this journey. Thank you for receiving my medicine. And I thank God, the Akashic Records, angels, guides, and ancestors who have led us here to this moment together so that we may heal what must be healed and cure what must be cured. So it is.